Welcome back to FM Story. We are rapidly approaching the end of season 18 of this South American Glory Hunt save, and we're hoping that in this episode we'll be able to wrap up Uruguay. We're in with a great chance of winning the league. We're guaranteed to be in the playoff at least at the end of the season, and we're into the quarterfinals of the Copa Uruguay as well, so hopefully we can go one better than we did last season with Cerrito and come away with that trophy as well. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So we're now into November, and it is the final day of the league season, and I think we're on the verge of winning the title. Things have gone exceptionally well since the end of the last episode. We ended with the 4-0 victory in the fourth round of the Copa Uruguay against Russia. The next game we played was the quarterfinal of the Copa Uruguay against the team that we are battling for the league, or the closing stage of the league, with Danubio. They took a lead in the first half. We got ourselves level in the second half, went ahead early on in extra time. They got 2 goals pretty quickly in the second half of extra time to put themselves 3-2 up. We then got a late equaliser with a Nicolas Mendes header, and then it went to penalties, and things didn't look great when our star striker, Jose Silva, missed the opening penalty for us. But thankfully, they went on to miss 3 penalties. We went through 3-2 on penalties into the semi-final. We then followed that up with a 4-1 victory against Villa Teresa in the league. We beat our former club, Cerrito, 3-1 in the league as well. And then we had the first leg of the semi-final against Wanderers away. We put in a great performance and came away with a 3-0 victory. We then went into the game against Maldonado knowing that Danubio had lost against Nacional. It was a wild game in which both teams scored after the 90th minute, and Danubio also missed a penalty in the 90th minute as well. But 2 headers from Lionel Fusco was enough to get us 3 points. And then in the most recent game, we've played the semi-final, the second leg of the semi-final, at home against Wanderers. Obviously, we were in a strong position after that first leg. We drew the second leg 1-1, and we're through to the final, where we're going to play Montevideo City Talk. But the reason we think that we're on the verge of winning the title is that it's the final game of the season. We're playing against Phoenix. Danubio are playing against Wanderers. But we are 3 points clear, with a better goal difference as well. So as long as we don't lose, we're going to finish top of the closing stage, which would mean we've won the opening stage, won the closing stage, and finished top of the overall table. The only way I think that this season's going to end in a playoff is if we lose and there's a big enough goal swing to enable Danubio to finish top of the closing stage on goal difference. If that happens, then I'm sure there will be a playoff, but hopefully we've got enough to pick up at least a point in this game and secure the league title before we head into that Copa Uruguay final. So going into this last game of the league season, the only player we've got missing is Christian Acosta. So what it's meant is Nicolas Enriquez, who's been great since he came back from his damaged Achilles tendon, is going to play in the defensive midfield role, and we're going to keep the pairing of Sousa and De Los Santos in the centre of midfield, and hopefully we just don't completely and utterly bottle it. Right, a throw for us, Espinosa down the left to Sousa, comes back to Espinosa, cutting in field on his right foot, and that was always going over the top. Right, Benitez with a throw on the left to De Silva. Goes a long way back with it. Finds Fusco. Benitez now with some space on the left. And he goes back to Fusco. And then Benitez again with a bit more time on it. Looks for Espinosa, gives it away. Espinosa wins it back. This is a weird highlight, so something's going to come of it. And we just keep going backwards with the ball. Sousa to Espinosa, infield to De Silva. What a pass for the run of De Los Santos. Puts us 1-0 up, and surely that is us on the verge of securing the Uruguayan title. So we hadn't made an awful lot of progress with it, but Espinosa then into De Silva, takes a touch, and then the run from De Los Santos is great, and he finds the bottom corner. Right, Scoto with a long goal kick for us. And they've got the ball, but Gonzalez wins it back. Sousa looks to slip in De Silva to cut out, and then they go long. Benitez wins the header, but they pick up the loose ball. And they've knocked it around nicely. Ball into the box. Great run. We were basically torn apart there, and we're lucky that they didn't hit the target. There we are. Half-time, 1-0 up. Okay performance so far. We're doing the job, and obviously it's 0-0 in the Danubio game, so they need to score anyway to put any pressure on us. Right, we sent the same team out to start the second half. Right, free kick for them. Down the line, Benitez gets his head on it. Now Espinosa to bring it clear, and then just runs out of space and gives the ball away. And Enriquez gets across to win it. Sousa now to Espinosa. And he's giving the ball away again. De Silva, though, wins it back. Gonzalez to Vieira. What a ball for Sousa. Now, Sousa's not offside, but someone else is definitely offside in the box then. I didn't think Sousa was offside. I could be wrong. Gonzalez to Vieira. I mean, Sousa might have been offside, but the other one was definitely more offside, and that's where the line was. And Danubio are now getting beat as well. So it doesn't really matter at this stage what we do in this game. Right, we made some changes, get some fresh legs on, and just give some players a rest ahead of the cup final. And there we are, full-time, 1-0. And I think that makes us champions. And there we have it, confirmation that we have indeed won the title. Despite it also saying we qualified for the playoff, but confirmation there that we've won the title. And now it's just on to the Copa Uruguay to see if we can finish Uruguay this season. And here we are, time for the final. They've gone with a 4-2-3-1. We've stuck with the same formation, although I was tempted, because we have Enriquez, Sousa, Acosta, and De Los Santos all available. I was tempted to go back to the formation that we started the season with the three in the midfield, but hopefully we can score enough to win this cup final. A free kick for them right on the edge of the box. Very early in the game. They've run short, and thankfully they've missed the target with the shot. A corner for them into the near post. Sousa gets his head on it, and we've given away a penalty. We have not started this game at all. Sousa steps up for them, fires it high into the net. And we are making this so much more difficult than it needs to be. And now nothing. They've got the goal, and we're not seeing any highlights because we're not doing anything at all. I'm going to throw for them. All we're seeing is them attacking. The ball over the top. Mendes gets his head on it. Sousa finds Vieira. Gonzalez now bringing it clear. And then he overruns it. And they go back to the keeper. And it'll give them a chance to start another attack. Back to the keeper again. Lumps it up the field. Fusco takes it down. Finds Benitez. Fusco into Acosta. Enriquez. Vieira looking to go on the outsides. It looks like we've been given a penalty. Right, De Silva scored so many goals for us this season. Can he get us back in this cup final? Beats the keeper, makes it 1-1. It's his 42nd goal of the season. He's been outstanding and a big part of our success this season. Coolly, keeper goes the right way, but it's right into the corner, and he had no chance. And there we are, half-time 1-1. They started well. We've come into it more as the first half's gone on, but we still haven't been very good. We need to be a lot better in the second half. Right, we sent the same team out to start the second half. Right, a corner to them. Luckily, that came crashing back off the woodwork, because that looked all the world like it was going to be 2-1. Right, a free kick for them at the back. Now they're attacking down the right. Pulled back. We've got a block on that one. It's lumped up the field. And then we've won a free kick from it. Right, Mendes into De Silva. Goes wide looking for Vieira. He finds Sosa in the box. Should have tried to pull it back rather than going for goal, but we've won a corner. Espinosa to swing it into the near post. And there's Juan Martin Benitez, gets up, powers the header home, puts us in front for the first time in this cup final. And we've got 26 minutes to now hold on. Right, we've made one substitution, and then we've switched the formation up to try and make us more secure and tougher to beat. We're into the last 4 minutes. Espinosa with a throw for us. Short to Enriquez. Espinosa towards the back post. De Silva gets his head on it. It's wide of the target. And we've got a couple of minutes plus injury time to hold on here. 3 minutes of injury time to be played. More than 3 minutes getting played. But there we are. Full time. We've won the cup 2-1. Not the prettiest of performances. But we've done the job. We've done the double. We've finally completed Uruguay. And now we can move on. And it gives us 2 seasons left in the save to try and win the Copa do Brazil that we've had any number of attempts at winning so far and come nowhere near. But in the end, a pretty good season and a really good job that this job with River Plate did open up. We've won the league pretty easily in the end, and the cup we've had a few issues going to penalties against Danubio in the quarterfinal, being 1-0 down in this final, but we've won the trophy and that's all that matters. And here we are, end of the season, and as you can see, another 2 trophies added to the trophy cabinet, the league and the cup in Uruguay, and that means with 2 seasons left in the save, we've got 1 trophy left to aim for, which is the Copa do Brazil. We've had plenty of seasons in Brazil already with both Internacional and Atletico Mineiro, and to be honest, we've not come that close realistically to winning the trophy. Looking at the jobs that are currently available in Brazil, there is 1 job available, which is Corinthians, who are currently struggling to stay up. I think they've got 1 or 2 games left in the season there. And then the other insecure jobs, we're looking at Criciúma, who are fighting with Corinthians for that last relegation spot. You've got Cruzeiro and Náutico, who are, I think, already relegated. And then nothing else in terms of being available. So I think it's going to be a waiting brief over the off-season to see what jobs come available, and then we see what we can do from there. And ideally, we want to avoid what happened the first season we had at Atletico Mineiro, where it turned out we weren't even in the Copa do Brazil to begin with. And there we are, the end of the episode, the end of season 18 of this South American Glory Hunt save. And in the end, it was an outstanding season. We've done the league and cup double in Uruguay, which means we can move on. And as we said, with 2 seasons left to go in the save, we have 1 trophy left to aim for, which is the Copa de Brazil. It's going to be a tough test, judging by the fact that we haven't won it yet in all the time we've already spent in Brazil. But I'm hoping that we can get it done. It will just depend on what jobs become available. So join us in the next episode to see where we're beginning season 19. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.